What's up, everyone? I'm Theo Connolly. And first, I want to address this mess over here. I did clean that up, so it wasn't there. And then I still had 3 boxes from the other room that I had to empty in my office. Some more stuff got stacked up there because it was empty. So, so now I have to deal with that. And then over here is just a baseball bat that I got when I was the featured author at a book club meeting. That is what the organizer gave out to everyone, or I don't know if she gave it to everyone or just me, but either way I still have it and I'm gonna hang it up on my wall. I just haven't been able to find the right way to hang it because it's a baseball bat. So anyway, that's all what that is behind me. I will be putting a sofa back there, but it's not until next month, so we're getting there. In June I will have a sofa back there. Anyway, so today I was going to talk about what went into my cult series, like all of the research that I did for my cult series, which started in 2016, mind you. So I wanted to know everything that there was to know about every religion there was out there. Now, let me tell you something. I had to cut out a lot of them because there are so many. So it got to the point to where when I went to a Christian bookstore to get a bunch of these books, I got like these little Cliff Notes things. I don't have them anymore because, you know, I'm finishing with my edits on the last book in the series. So I didn't need them anymore because all of my research was done. But they were like Cliff Notes type of books about these religions and stuff like that. So it was like Mormonism and Hinduism and you get it. Anyway, I think I had like 6 of these little Cliff Notes books. And then as I'm looking at them all, because I'm picking them up, trying to get some information, this woman walks over with this Bible and she goes, "I think you might want to get this too." And I was like, "Oh yeah, that's cute. I'll totally take it," because it was pink. And I was like, "Yes." So I have that too. I'm just saying, it's like, sure, not like I don't have more at home, but yes, I will take this. I wasn't going to tell her that it's for research because I'd be more afraid that she would be like, "Oh, you don't need to research, you need a church." Bitch, I got Jesus, I'm okay. But anyway, so my biggest thing is that starting in 2016, because I really wanted to know everything there was to know about everything, right? And the one thing that I had actually seen a lot of, was the fact that a lot of people, there are certain like special, not really special edition, but like special copies of certain religious teachings, like the Bible, the Quran, you know, things like that, that are passed down from generation to generation and not something that you can actually purchase. Like if you were to go into someone's house who had like one of these really nice Bibles or something like that, you're not going to be able to just go purchase it because it's something that's passed down. Similar to like in Game of Thrones, when they have like those big giant books that talk about all of the families and, you know, things like that, they're passed down. Now, something about the Quran itself, I wasn't able to find a copy of the Quran at the bookstore. I could not find one at all. Funny enough, I went with my mom to the bookstore recently and there was one. And I was like, I'm sorry. When I went into the religious area of this bookstore the last time, and, you know, I think it was 2017 when I was actually looking for a copy of it, it was all Bibles. There wasn't a single, like, and it was just a Barnes and Noble. There wasn't a single other religious book in there. It was just all Bibles and stuff talking about God and Jesus and all this other. And I was like, this is not it. Like, where's the Torah? I mean, seriously? So anyway, so I got to learn a lot about a lot of things. And I will tell you this much, okay? So my husband, I grew up Southern Baptist. And if you know anything about Southern Baptist, you will know why I chose, once I got to a certain point, it was like, no, thank you. No, thank you. And then my husband was Lutheran. So for a while, I went to a Lutheran church with my husband. I'm a little confused on their beliefs. I will tell you this much, only because of the fact that whenever I spoke to the pastor about certain things, because there were things that I was taught in the Baptist church that I went to that was different in the Lutheran religion. Like, you would think that all Christianity would be the same, but it's really not. I will tell you that much. So, like, there is that story about how that one guy has to take his son to the top of the hill and stab him so he can, offer him to God, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then, well, in the Baptist religion, it's basically, this is why you need to listen to your parents, because otherwise they'll offer you to God type of thing, right? So it's completely terrifying, because that's what I learned in the Baptist church that I went to. So, oh my God, listen to your parents, because, oh my gosh, your parents could sacrifice you to God. And I'm thinking, okay, so your parents are going to kill you. Great. Awesome. Forget fearing God. Let's fear our parents, right? And if anybody knows anything about Southern Baptists, it's generally, the fact that the woman is the one who takes care of the household and the man only has to go out and work. That's it. And when he comes home, his wife better be ready to do whatever he wants. Cook, clean, and other extracurriculars. The end, right? Now, here's the thing though. My parents didn't really go to church when we were growing up. So it wasn't the same thing, right? So my parents didn't really go to church when I was growing up. It was more of the fact that, like, it was my mom's way of dropping us off on Sundays so she could do laundry. But when I got to junior high, my parents hanging out at the house, I got a ride from a friend. So there was that. That's how I ended up going to church when we had moved from the other place. So anyway, but it was still Baptist. So it was different. I never went with my parents. So my parents were not that same religious. They didn't go to church regularly, which was fine. I went with a friend. But that church was terrifying because the deacon of the church started dating my 16-year-old friend. He was 30. He was married. He had a child. He started dating my 16-year-old friend, and my mom says, you're no longer going to that church. And I'm like, okay. I'm so glad that I'm not, because I'm taught to fear my parents because they could kill me at some point. Luckily, my parents were not that type of people, so we're good. But in the Lutheran, they actually tell you that God stopped him. God just wanted to see how loyal he was to him, blah, 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 to see if he would actually do it, right? Okay, so of course I've got to read this Bible, because in the Baptist religion, well, at least I was always told that we didn't need to read the Bible. We just need to listen to those that were telling us about the Bible. We can't read it. It's not okay, because God does not like that. We will not understand it. We are just regular people. We will not understand the Bible. So we can't read the Bible. We have to listen to the pastor, the one who's translating it, right? I was also told that my baptism didn't count because I wasn't saved by the pastor of my church. I was saved at church camp. So my baptism didn't count. I don't know. Anyway, literally, it's crazy, okay? So, of course, when we go to the Lutheran religion, I'm sitting there thinking, do I need to be rebaptized? And the Lutheran pastor was like, no, that's not how that works. And I'm like, okay. But Lutherans also believe that babies are supposed to be baptized. The Baptist that I went to, it was your choice. You're the one who had to say out loud whether or not you accepted Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior, blah, 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 all that stuff, right? In order for you to do that. They will baptize babies, but only if it's an emergency. They will not baptize anyone who cannot verbalize that they do accept Jesus, right? Which seems kind of stupid, because I'm just saying, it just seems dumb. But anyway, so the Lutheran religion, they believe that they're supposed to baptize babies. Well, because I grew up that way, my son was not baptized until, I want to say, he was 4, but I asked him if he was okay with that. That was the whole thing. I wanted to make sure he was okay with that. So that's how that whole thing happened. And of course, I love how my mother-in-law decided to shame me for that. Like it was my fault that he wasn't baptized and that he was going to go to hell unless I actually baptized him, which I don't freaking like. I do not like the fact that people are all like, oh, well, if you don't get your child baptized, your child's going to go to hell. No. And when the pastor says it's because, like when babies and stuff like that, whenever they're not swaddled and they have that fear or that falling reflex where they shake and stuff like that because they have that fear of falling. Fear is actually an emotion that is a sin, and that's why babies are sinful. That's why babies are born with sin, because they have those emotions. What? Like, I'm sorry. I think it's stupid. Anyway, Literally, some of the things that I don't go to church anymore, and there is an entire video as to why I don't go to church. You can find it, because I'm sorry, I feel like religion is just, it's stupid, okay? Read the Bible on your own. Like my son did. I told him to read the Bible on his own. And number one, it was because when he asked the pastor if Adam and Eve were the first two people, then who did their children marry, right? And then when the pastor told him that he needed to ask me that, I was like, wow, that's not how this works. Like, you're the pastor, you're the one who's supposed to translate the Bible, right? Because that's how I grew up. No. So I told my son, I said, let's read the Bible. Well, then my son, by the time he's about 7 or 8 years old, he tells me, hey, did you know that Sodom and Gomorrah was not burned down because they were gay? And I said, yes, I did. And he starts explaining to me it's because there were pedos in that town because Jesus was 13 at the time that, yes. So there you go. It literally had nothing to do with gay people, and I really wish people would stop referring to the Bible when it comes to that, because that is not in the Bible. Yes, it does say that man should not lay with man and woman should not lay with woman, but bullshit, I don't give I don't care. God created everyone to be equal. He created you to be you. Fuck whatever this book says that some man wrote because this guy thought it was something that shouldn't happen. Well, good for you, guy. Sorry. So yes, most of my research was done picking and choosing parts of the Bible that I actually appreciated. You know, things like God created man in his own image. Okay, if God created man in his own image, then God is a gay drag queen. That's how I'm going to put that. Immediately. Sorry, I don't care. Like, people are different in every way. Man was created in God's image. Okay, man is everyone, not just a man. Not just the dinglings and stuff like that. No, this is everyone. Humans. Okay? And I hate when they're all, oh, well, man. Okay, so because in the Bible it says God created man in his own image. God created everyone, so it means everyone. Just because it's woman, hello, man. Just saying. Anyway, you go through and you see all these things. I actually turned the Cain and Abel story, where Abel was the one who, you know, did things in God's favor, blah, 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 whatever. Cain was jealous because it seemed like God was only accepting his offering, this and that, blah, blah, blah. Which, by the way, I'm sorry, but if there are two people who are providing an offering to God, maybe one of them's just having a hard time. Maybe he just doesn't have a green thumb. Whatever the hell's going on. Who gives a shit? Okay, so he's only accepting this guy. I'd kill him too. Freaking prick. So your favorite. Yeah, I'm just saying. Anyway, the whole story. So I turned Cain and Abel into the first hate crime. So if they say that Adam and Eve's first two children were Cain and Abel, okay, first of all, did that mean that God wanted Cain and Abel to be a couple? Because if you think about it, if he created man and woman to make their parts fit in order for procreation, well, what if the next two were meant to be two gay men? That's how God was creating it. And because of the whole thing, well, maybe Cain just wasn't created that way. And it was, whoops, let's see if he's tolerant. Let's see how tolerant Cain can be towards Abel. Whereas Abel is a gay man and Abel wants to, you know, that's just how it worked, right? I'm just saying. So Cain was upset because maybe Cain was more upset of the fact that, you know, Adam and Eve were man and woman. And he was like, okay, so I got created to be with this other man. Like, I don't understand. So, and like in the same sense of like now and stuff like that, he had internalized homophobia. He did not want to be gay, maybe because he sees his parents as, you know, man and woman. And he was like, why should I be this way? Like, this isn't right. So that's why he killed Abel. That's where I went with that story. So I figure Cain and Abel was the first hate crime. He literally killed Abel specifically because of the fact that he didn't want to be with the man. He wanted to be able to procreate. Okay, so he wanted to procreate, fine. But that didn't mean that he needed to kill Abel. I'm just saying, there's number one sin. But, well, not number one sin, because technically it would be number two, because Eve ate from the apple. But or ate from the tree, ate the apple from anyway. Everybody knows that story. So I made that to be, the first hate crime. So that was the way that I was able to get the disciples' doctrine to be where everyone's created equal. It doesn't matter who you are or what you look like or what you want to look like, regardless of who this person is as a form, okay? It does not mean that there is anything wrong with you. God created you to be you, who you are. So wherever you want to, whatever you want to be, whoever you want to be, whatever is in your brain that you believe that you are, then you are. And that is how God created you, and that is the end. That is exactly how the disciples' doctrine is essentially worded. Everybody is who they are supposed to be. If you don't want to be, say you were born male, okay, but you feel like you're female, so do it. Do it, damn it. God created you how you were supposed to be. So if you believe that you were supposed to be a woman, that you were supposed to be born a woman, you weren't. You were supposed to be born a man who transitioned into a woman specifically because of the fact that you need to teach other people tolerance. Everyone needs to learn tolerance for everyone. This is where that comes in. There's certain things too that come from like Hindu and Muslim and their religions and stuff like that I also brought in, but it's very subtle because most people see those religions as being like violent, but they're not. They're really not. If you actually look at the Muslim and the Hindu religions, they're actually very calm, and a lot of their stuff is actually very like almost where they accept everyone, right? There are certain people who translate it incorrectly, but then that's of course where you get the Christians that translate the Bible incorrectly, and they turn it into hate speech. And this is what my biggest problem is. And I wanted to make sure that this was very clear. It's very clear that it is straight out, whoever you are, that is who you are, right? I have 2 transgender characters that are in, it starts in City of Disciples when the leader and his connected partner, which is basically his wife, but they don't call them husband or wife or anything like that. They are connected partners because of the fact that everybody is equal. So there shouldn't be a reason why there is a different name for everyone. And on top of that, they are feminine and masculine disciples. So we could have a man that's in the feminine disciples and we could have a woman that's in the masculine disciples. It depends on who they feel or how they feel on which side. So that's just how that works out. And it's not that there is a single reason why anything is set out. So it's not men and women. It is the feminine disciples, the masculine disciples. And that's just because anybody can be feminine and anybody can be masculine. It doesn't mean that it has to be man or woman, right? If that makes sense. I'm hoping I'm doing this correctly. So, not like I'm doing this correctly, but I'm hoping I'm saying this in a way that is understandable and not offensive. Because I'm not looking to offend anybody. I'm literally just trying to get the understanding that everyone was created equal, and there are reasons why people are different, and people are different specifically because of the fact that there should be tolerance, and it doesn't matter about anything else, right? And I think that was my biggest thing when I was doing a lot of research and stuff like that. I was realizing too that there is a lot of hate in the world specifically because people are different. But yet if God created everyone in his image, that means that everyone is the same, right? It doesn't matter what you look like. It doesn't matter how you act. It doesn't matter how you dress. Everyone's the same. Everyone was created equal. God brought everyone here for a reason, and there should not be a reason why everyone hates everyone, because that is not right. That is not how God wanted the world to be. Yes, I am spiritual, but I'm not religious. And I believe that even in this, let me put it this way, even in this scenario, Darwinism, okay, where we basically evolved from a single cell organism, that would mean that everyone did. Everybody did. That means that we are all still equals. We all evolved from a single cell organism. We all are exactly the same. Maybe we evolved in different areas of the world, and that's the reason why there's different melanin in everybody's skin. And that is fine. That is fine. But we are all the same. Everyone is created equal. We need to start getting along. We need to stop just saying, oh, I don't like you because you have different views than me. You look different than me. You have this, you have this, you have this. Fuck it. Who cares? Stop. Please. I am there's so much hate. And everyone is more worried about what this person is doing, what that person is doing, when what you really should be doing is just thinking about yourself. Worry about yourself. Everyone is created equal. And if you do not treat everyone as equal, well, in the disciples, there is only one way. If you commit any of the evil acts from the disciples' doctrine, you will be shunned. You will be shunned. Just saying. So, there you go. If you can't, one of the evil acts is legit that, everyone is created equal. And if at any point in time someone decides that they don't want to treat everyone as equals, then you get isolated. And if you refuse to actually, grow from that, then you get shunned because, sorry, you cannot just, I'm sorry. I still have this thing. Okay. So with religions and stuff, especially with religion, okay. If you don't believe what I believe, I don't like you. Politics are the same way. If you don't believe what I believe, I don't like you. Who gives a shit? I'm so tired of everybody having to agree with everyone. That God gave everyone free will. So we have free will to actually believe what we want to believe and take things in the way that we do. Everybody has a different personality. Everybody thinks a different way. We don't all have to think the same. Because let me freaking tell you, guy, we don't all have to be the same because that would make life boring. There's a reason why we all have different views. But it doesn't mean that it has to spark hatred. Everyone was created equal. Join the disciples. I literally went through every religion. I'm not going to lie. Mormons are the weirdest. I'm just saying. I'm so sorry, but I believe that the Mormons are the weirdest. Their stuff is just, it was hard to get through a lot of the Mormonism things because I was like, I'm sorry, what? They believe some of the dumbest things. It's like one of those conspiracy theorist people who sits around and literally believes all the crazy shit in the world. And yeah, that's how I believe Mormons are. I mean, I'm sorry if you're a Mormon, but that's just, yeah. Although I can say that for all of the religious fanatics, they're all crazy. Religious fanatics are crazy because they believe things that are not always true. You're believing what somebody told you, and nobody wants to go out and do the legwork anymore. Nobody wants to go out and actually truly find things that are correct rather than just having someone spit something out of their mouth and you go, oh, yes, praise Jesus. Okay, whatever. Oh, and okay, so when I was talking to the pastor of the Lutheran church one time, I was getting to this at one point, but I think I missed it. I was asking about, the fact that Jesus, they say that, the Jews killed Jesus, blah, 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 whatever, right? Okay. No, it was the people who lived in Jerusalem. So because they lived in Jerusalem, that's why they were called the Jews. And apparently at one time, that was a race and not a religion. I don't know. So technically it was just the people of Jerusalem killed Jesus. And I think that is what should actually be more interpreted in the Bible than saying that an entire race of people because it makes a lot of people just awful towards certain people. And I don't think that that's right. It is literally just the people of Jerusalem are the ones who killed Jesus. When actually Jesus was supposed to be like Jesus of Nazareth or something like that, but isn't Nazareth in Jerusalem? I don't know. Most of these places don't even exist anymore. Anyway, so apparently being a Jew was a race at one time and not a religion. I don't understand what the hell is happening with anything. Whatever. Okay. Anyway, I'm done with this conversation. Join the disciples. Everyone is created equal. When you come into the city of disciples, you will relinquish all of your earthly funds, possessions, and everything else to the leader. And as you promote, when you recruit new disciples, which, yes, it is a pyramid scheme as well. Network marketing. Once you recruit 5 new disciples, you level up and you get paid more. And then once you have 10 disciples under you, you level up and you get paid more. Yes, but you can only have, I think it's like 15 or 20 disciples. I'll have to look at it. It's been a while. But you can only have like 15 or 20 disciples under you. And then once you have your set disciples and you are at the top tier, at that point you become one of the disciple partners. And then you have to help the other disciples in the first tier. You have to help them to learn how to recruit new disciples. And don't screw up, because God forbid you screw up and you end up getting shunned in the shunning ceremony. I'm just saying. And then if you cause a mutiny, the disciples themselves will take over. If you create a mutiny, the disciples, they will take over. But there's always the possibility of a disbanding of all of the disciples. That's where I'm at right now. I'm editing Disbanding of Disciples. I don't have a cover to show you. Sorry. But anyway, can we just start living our lives like the disciples? Everyone is created equal. Don't be a dick. Anyway, that's it. Like, comment, share, subscribe, or don't. I don't give a shit. Do whatever you want. I'm here every Monday and Thursday, just rambling, ranting, and talking about whatever bullshit I want to, because I can. And that's it. Okay, bye.